Hey guys, it's Audrey from Permission to Hustle podcast. Thanks for listening. Today's podcast is going to be about changing directions. I remember last year, Vera and I, when we were kind of thinking about, and this is going back to 2017 into 2018, I remember we were thinking about what word we wanted to concentrate on for 2018. Every year, we would always come up with one word. I'm sure you see a bunch of people on social media talking about this. And you kind of always hone in on one word that just means something to you, that just like resonates to you. And our word going into 2018 was the word pivot. And I remember just looking at Vera and being like, pivoting is a good thing. You don't want to stay in the same spot. Sometimes you have to change direction. Sometimes you have to just go a different course. And that is pivoting. It's just taking the time to acknowledge that, the path I'm going is great, but I want to try something new. There's always, there's always something interesting and really exciting and, let's be honest, scary about trying something new, going down a new path. But many times in our life, pivoting, changing direction is exactly what we need. So I wanted to talk to you today about this particular topic because, a lot of us get stuck in a business hustle rut. And I don't want to say it's a bad thing. I think that when we do what we do, we kind of do what we do. And I don't even mean that to sound silly, but when you're doing your job and you're doing it day in and day out and you're head down and you're concentrating on it. And for many of us who are digital entrepreneurs, we're creating content every day. And if you're an entrepreneur, you are creating a service or you're creating a product or you're creating content every single day. If you work in corporate America, you are going in every single day with a specific amount of duties and responsibilities on your shoulders every single day. We're never kind of thrown into a new position, a new job, a new something every day where it kind of you kind of always are on your tippy toes, never knowing like what's going to be around the corner, like what is behind that obstacle. It's not really like that. But I do think that there's something really, dare I say it, I don't want to say healthy, but something really good about looking at what you're doing, taking a moment to stop and say, you know what, I need to change directions for a little bit. I need to pivot. It might not be something very dramatic. It might not be, the biggest change in the world. Maybe it's a new kind of series you're going to do on your blog. Maybe it's a new responsibility you want to try at work. Maybe it's shadowing somebody at work that you kind of always admired what they do, but you've never really had the opportunity to do it. Maybe it's going back to school at night because you want to try something new. I was just chatting with a woman the other day that she has a job in corporate America. She loves cycling, and she went and she got certified in being a spin trainer in the evenings. Sometimes doing something different and pivoting and going in a different direction is one of the best things we can do for ourselves, to keep ourselves passionate, to keep ourselves focused, to keep ourselves going. A lot of us, we work for money, and that's not a bad thing. I'm 100% going to tell you, I work the hardest I work because I know I need to pay my bills. I know I need to provide for my family. Not that I'm saying if my husband made a ton of money and I didn't need to work, that I wouldn't put in 110% every single day. But the 110% that I do put in is specifically because I know that the stakes are high. I know I have a lot of responsibilities on my shoulders that I need to provide for. So my head down and working hard is something that I just need to do. It's survival. And I'm lucky enough to have a job that I really love that I do. But, I'm someone that always loves to look in different directions. I'm someone that loves to pivot. I love these podcasts because I do feel like we can be very honest on them and we can be very real. And I have a very good friend, Cecily Mecca, we call her Sis. She was a blogger forever and was in charge of Double Duty Divas with Bridget Duplantis. And I've always loved Sis or Cecily, I feel bad calling her Sis, her nickname, because, from the time I met her, she was a blogger and she was also a full-time teacher. And I love the fact that she had this job that she loved that fulfilled her as a teacher. And then she also did blogging in the evening because it was a passion. It was a hustle. It was a side hustle that she loved and that she really just felt really connected to and was able to create a really great bond and relationships with a lot of people. But I remember being with her a few years ago at a Pampers event, and she was talking about wanting to become an author, and not just any author, a romance author. And I'm a huge romance junkie. If you know me in my personal life, you know that I live and breathe romance. Literally live and breathe romance. But I love when she said that because I didn't know that about her. And I didn't know that that was even something that she had an interest in. And little did I know, as she was telling me this, she had really tried to start focusing her attention on writing a book, her first book. And fast forward to present day, she, I think she's up to 10 books now. I might be wrong in the exact number, but she's a established published author. She's self-published. I actually just read her book, The Chief's Maiden. It's part of her Border series. She's a fantastic writer. And, I just have always been impressed with her because she's somebody that pivoted. She's someone that changed directions. There was no clear path. There was no clear course. There was no map telling her where to go. She changed directions and pivoted and has been successful at it. So I wanted to just throw that out there as something that look at your life, look at what you're doing. If you're feeling it, if you're thinking it, if you've been pondering about it, if you've been daydreaming about it, then do it. I've kind of always lived in the philosophy that, you only live once. You never know what tomorrow is going to bring. You want to be happy, you want to feel fulfilled. And, sadly, and part of the reason why I love Permission Hustle so much is because a lot of us don't feel fulfilled in our jobs, especially if you're working for somebody else that you don't like, if you have a job you just don't love. I mean, I don't care what it is, if you just are doing something day in and day out to pay the bills. And that is not a great, fun way to live. And I know that firsthand. I've had jobs like that where you just gotta do it. You gotta go through the motions. My husband has had jobs like that. And what it does is it kills your spirit. And what it does is it really makes you not want to be focused on much. You kind of just truly feel like a hamster in a wheel. You just go through everything. You do what you got to do. You fulfill your responsibilities, and that's it. But I also do feel that you owe it to yourself to find something that you do love to do. And maybe it's not something that you're going to monetize, because I do find that a lot of us feel that everything we do has to be monetized. That's not always the case. I mean, and it really isn't. Maybe you want to train for a triathlon. Maybe you want to take up painting. Maybe you want to learn a different language. Pivot. Do something different. Bring something into your life that is going to be something that you just really are excited about doing. Change the direction. Maybe you do want to do something drastic as changing the direction of the course of your career. That's cool. Do that. Maybe it's something, again, just as simple as, you know what, I want to take a course in the evenings on how to get certified in doing something different. I mean, I don't know what it would be, but I wanted to make this podcast truly about changing direction, pivoting. Sometimes it's the most rewarding and the best thing and the best gift we can give ourselves. And, it's not always something that you don't want to do this a lot in life, because you don't want to be, frivolous with pivoting. But it is important to look at your life and say, what could I bring in that's going to make me happy? What can I bring in that's going to make me feel fulfilled? What can I bring in that's going to make me excited to get up in the morning? I actually have been inspired by Cicely, and I actually started writing. Now, when I was a kid, I used to write all the time. I used to write stories and stories and stories, all love, surprise, surprise. But she inspired me. And I actually have a Google document open, and I try to do it every single day. And I kind of always joke. I say to my husband, I'm like, it's time for my yoga. It's time for my Zen. It's time for my quiet time. And that's my writing. And I just sit in the corner, and it's just, a story to tell, a story I'm making up, a story I'm manifesting, characters that I've fallen in love with, characters that I feel like I know firsthand, characters that have pieces of me in them and pieces of people that I know in them. And that for me is my pivoting. I know that it's not the career choice that I'm going to potentially go into, but it's a pivot for me right now. And I love it and I enjoy it. And I think that it's something that by bringing that into my life, it's something that has enhanced it. And, and I hate when people throw the word busy out like a badge. And I don't mean it like that when I say it, but I am very busy. I am. I'm a full-time working mom. I have 5 kids. I have multiple businesses that I'm trying to, work and give my 100% all to. And I'm the first one to tell you it's not easy. I'm the first one to tell you that I fall flat on my face many times. I'm the first one to tell you that, there are nights that I'm just like overwhelmed, and definitely my husband sees tears flowing. But at the same time, I love it. And it's something that I wouldn't trade for the world. And I feel like that when you are truly happy with what you do get the range of emotions. And that if you don't feel overwhelmed at times, and you don't feel, scattered at times, then you're really lucky, I guess. I don't even know what to say. Then you're really damn lucky. But I just feel like it's normal and it's common, and it's not anything that is abnormal. But the pivoting, changing direction, bringing something different in, it can be a really good thing. So I just wanted you guys to think about that and kind of just marinate in that in this podcast. And again, as always, I never want to make our podcasts too long. I want to make them digestible, quick and easy, so that you can kind of take something from it and then go on with your day or go on and listen to another one. So thank you guys for listening. Check out our past podcasts. We have over 50 of them. Head over to our Permission to Hustle Facebook page. It's a private group, but we'd love for you to head on over and join. We share inspiration and motivation every single day, ask questions. Really great group of people to just be a part of. We have really great people that are open to sharing and helping and supporting, and that's what we wanted it to be all about from the beginning. So have an awesome day, everyone, and remember, continue to giving yourself the permission to hustle.